Queen of Cups reversed. The reversed Queen of Cups is still among the most loving archetypes in the tarot deck. She indicates compassion, love, and concern for ourselves and our fellow man. Often when the court cards come up in a reading, they indicate an actual person, in this case a woman, in our lives. The majority of the time when the Queen of Cups appears, and is standing in for a person, she is representing a female with hair on the lighter end of the spectrum. However, because of the reversal, it can indicate that this woman may be feeling hurt, put upon, and can be becoming untrustworthy. Watch the signals. General, the reversed Queen of Cups reminds us to treat ourselves with love and compassion. Regardless of your past or your circumstances, you are worthy of love and respect. However, there may also be a literal woman in your life whose loving energy may have turned to anger. Watch for this, and if possible, help this woman to understand the things that are happening in her life. Work. A woman in your workplace may be causing you problems. If so, she would be a once very kind and understanding person, who has now morphed into basically a control freak, and at minimum her loving ways might have turned into being more judgmental and untrustworthy. The best way to handle her is to be considerate of her feelings, and not to give her any information that you wouldn't want shared with everyone. If looking for work, a woman may be helpful in landing a job now. Love. In general, when the reversed Queen of Cups appears in a reading about love, the outlook is good. This card reminds you to stay focused in the loving side of your personality. True, deep love for others also encompasses understanding that other people are on their own timelines. Do not be impatient or forceful or petulant. Good things come to those who wait. Be dignified and restrained, not pushy. Finances. The reversed Queen says that you must be careful about being too aggressive financially. Cautious investments and placements of your money are a better bet now. Allow yourself to think creative and to be creative with your money, but only within reason. Do not gamble or loan more than you can afford to lose. It's possible that not everyone around you now is trustworthy with regard to money. Be thoughtful about where you place your trust. If you can't control your own behavior with money, it's time to get help. You don't have to go it alone. Health. The Queen of Cups reversed points to needing and receiving support and love in the context of health. If you have need of healing, look to women/those with strong feminine energy. The reversal also calls you to be loving and supportive of yourself. If you are dealing with illness of some type, you may need to forgive and send love to your body. Positive visualization is important now. Spirituality. When you pull the reversed Queen of Cups in this context, you may be hungry for immediate spiritual experiences and growth. This card reminds you that, again, good things take time, and that part of being loving is to be patient. Be open to, and proactive about, growth, but don't be in a hurry. Tarot history. The history of the tarot is shrouded in mystery. Very little in the way of concrete information is known about its origin, although many things have been written about it. We will probably never know the truth, as fact and fiction seem to be irrevocably mixed nowadays. The tarot originated in northern Italy in the early 15th century, sometime between 1420 to 1440. Despite the fact that it is often attributed to originating from China, Egypt, India, or Morocco to name just a few, there is absolutely no evidence that this is the case. Nor, as is often quoted, is there any evidence whatsoever that the tarot was brought to Europe by the Romanis. The name tarot is often attributed to being Egyptian, Hebrew, or Latin. This is not the case. The earliest names are all Italian in origin. The cards were originally called carte de triomphe. Around 1530 the word tarocchi began to be used to differentiate them from a new game of triumphs that was in vogue at the time. The etymology of this new word is unknown. The German variant was known as tarot and the French tarot. The symbolism for the tarot is drawn from the culture of medieval and Renaissance Europe. The tarot subjects are distinctive to European Christendom. The symbolism does not come from Egypt or any of the other exotic locales often mentioned. It is often stated that modern-day playing cards evolved from the tarot. This is not the case. Modern-day playing cards came to Europe courtesy of Islam. They were an adaptation of the Islamic Mamluk cards. They appeared quite suddenly in many different European cities between 1375 and 1378. These early cards had suits of cups, swords, coins, and polo sticks, and courts consisting of a king and two male underlings. The tarot adds the Fool, the trumps, and a set of queens to this system. Sometime before 1480, the French introduced cards with the now familiar suits of hearts, clubs, spades, and diamonds. The Joker is not original to either the early form of modern-day cards, or to the tarot, but instead originated in the USA around 1857 and was used as a wild card in poker as well as the highest trump in euchre. It is also often stated that the Catholic and Protestant churches outlawed the tarot and all who used it in an effort to stamp out so-called heretical teachings. This is not the case. The Inquisition documented what the Church considered as evidence of heresy in great detail. The tarot was not even mentioned. After the Reformation, less controversial images for the Pope and Papess were substituted by card makers as the Church had objected to the original images. It is often said that the tarot was not used as a divination tool prior to 1781. The tarot was used as early as the 16th century to compose poems describing personality characteristics. There is historical evidence that in one case at least these verses were presented as relating to the person's fate. In other words, divination. Divinatory meanings were assigned to the tarot in Bologna in the early 1700s, and this is the first unambiguous evidence of tarot divination. Ordinary playing cards were connected with divination as early as 1487. It is not unreasonable to think that the tarot was also. The tarot has often been attributed with being a pillar of Western esoterica occultism. This is certainly not the case. The first occult writers to discuss the tarot were Court de Gabellin and the Comte de Melot in 1781. The tarot was not mentioned in any occult work for the first 350 years of its existence. The terms Major Arcana, Minor Arcana, High Priestess, and Hierophant are anachronistic when referring to the older tarot decks. The historically appropriate terms are the Trumps and the Fool, the suit cards, Papess or Popess, and Pope. Likewise, Pentacles and Wands are relatively recent substitutions for the traditional suit names of coins and staves or batons. The original Italian titles of the cards were in some cases different from the later French titles that have become familiar to us through the Tarot de Marseille and its descendants. Also, the ordering of the trumps varied considerably in Italy where the cards originated. It is not known which ordering is the earliest one. Even the number of cards in the deck varied a great deal. So care should be used in making statements about the original meaning of the cards based on the familiar titles and ordering. Many believe that the Waite-Smith Tarot is the original, standard, or most authentic tarot deck in existence. This is absolutely untrue. The Waite-Smith/Rider-Waite deck was created in 1909. Not even 100 years ago, making it a relative newcomer in the almost 600-year history of the tarot. There is actually no definitive version of the tarot.